Joy Taylor from FS1 Speak on if she expects the Browns to be among the AFC's best.
They better.
Why?
Why wouldn't they be?
230. 230. 0.
And then the
guaranteed under
guaranteed.
there. Ooh-wee.
We talk a lot about people's money and expectations and Super Bowl or bust. It all starts right there in Cleveland. This is a team, mostly, that Baker Mayfield, who's on his third, fourth, I can't keep track, 14?
Yeah.
14? Lots of teams. Baker Mayfield took to the playoffs and won a playoff game there. So the expectations can't be win a playoff game. I don't hear nothing. Baker Mayfield did that for far less money and way more drama. So in the building. So yeah, you have to be Super Bowl or bust. They absolutely have to be amongst the elite. And when you look at the roster, there's really no excuses here. Last year was, okay, we all collectively agreed. It's almost impossible for you to come back from 2 years off of football, especially at that position, no matter how good the roster is, and come in and make noise. It's not reasonable. But when you look at the roster, when you look at what he's been paid, and look at what they're paying him for. We keep talking about the money. Why are they paying him that money? They're paying him that because they expect him to throw for almost 5,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. That's where it starts.
I don't often agree with Joy Taylor, but I almost did there until she started talking about the numbers, Jared. They don't need him to throw for 5,000 yards. They could care less. They have a running back. They have an offensive line. He needs to be able to make plays with the game on the line. That's it. If he does that, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've agreed with Joy Taylor almost ever. And so that works out really well. The other thing I just want to say, I probably said it in different places. The whole guaranteed thing doesn't mean anything. I know everybody's made it an issue. Every quarterback gets their money or more, right? It's just the way it works. Like the fact that it's guaranteed doesn't really matter. Kyler Murray has not been good and is injured and probably going to miss most or all of this season. He's going to get that money. One way or another, he's going to get a vast majority, 75, 85, 90% of that money. And most likely, probably going to get more than 100% of that guaranteed because that contract is going to get reworked, even if he's not in Arizona. But the reality is that Deshaun Watson was brought in to win. And in the NFL today, you need someone who can win as a quarterback when it matters. You need someone who, and even with, Jim Schwartz's wide 9, if they can get a lead, then you can really kind of sick those guys on the quarterback because you're not worried about the running game. And so the Browns should be good. The whole idea of winning more than one playoff game. Baker Mayfield beat a Pittsburgh Steelers team that handed the Browns 21 points basically, and made that game so easy for him. So again, we're comparing apples and oranges, different time frame. That was COVID. That was that season that was really crazy. The reality is the Browns need to win a lot of games and look like a team that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Like that's what it means. All of us will hopefully agree at the end of the season, even if they don't beat them, that the Cleveland Browns could compete and play with the Kansas City Chiefs. That is the goal. That is how we know that they'll be good. Whether Watson throws for 4,000 yards, 5,000 yards, runs for 600 yards, all of those things don't really matter. Does the team on the field look like they're in the same stratosphere as the Kansas City Chiefs, Cincinnati Bengals, and those like?
Is that what it takes for the Deshaun Watson acquisition then to be successful, do you think, so that they're among the elite?
Yeah, I think it does. I think obviously you want an AFC championship game at least. But I think there are just so many variables that, yes, you want that, but you even think about the Browns' second playoff game with Baker Mayfield. They could have won that game if Rashard Higgins, that play was called a penalty like it should have been, or if he just doesn't fumble the ball, right? And so there are so many variables. They could have been in the AFC Championship game that year had that penalty not happened. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes getting hurt really helped that process. So I do think they need to look like they belong. They need to be a threat. And then everything else from there, we're really talking about kind of splitting hairs at that point in time. Are they a threat to the Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, Jets, maybe those kind of teams? Then that means they've done what it takes with Deshaun Watson, and hopefully they actually win some of those games as well.